Yeah, go ahead.
Pascal, I wanted to talk to you about your brilliant essay where it was called Global U.S. Military Operation #Storm Reality in 2024. A lot of people are getting to know you about this article, and it was that article where I first heard about you. And it was linked to me from a Rumble video. I was compelled to look it up. You appeared in that video. I read this article and I was instantly interested in you. And referencing that article, that one #storm, I have the following questions. Are
Sure.
you, first of all, the person who coined the term democide?
Let me say hello to everybody. First of all, to you, engineer, and to all your loyal followers who learned a lot from you about 9/11. You've done a great job debunking the official cabal deep state version. And you've proven that those planes didn't exist really, and the buildings were blown up, unfortunately. And I greet, of course, with that all human species, fellow humans around the world, or on our earth, I have to say. And specifically, I would like to give a lot of compliments and pay tribute to all brave men and women that are in active war duty around the world under the US military command since March 27th, 2020, in the US-led global defense war, which is still covert, but I can inform the people about it. I joined the US military by reporting Switzerland. We'll talk about that in a minute. But compliments to all those brave young men and women who are doing a deadly fight. This is a real war. People say it's covert, it's not so deadly. No. It's maybe even more deadly than the wrong wars you saw on CNN. This is the war that ends all wars, and they are doing the right thing. And the parents of those children, great parents. You know what? You can be proud of them. And these include Canadian officers, soldiers, United States, of course, who has the command, Russians, Indians, Chinese, Germans, Spanish, Italians. I don't know the list. The full list is secret, but we have compiled a few names that are definitely in the operation and that I can mention. So thank you for your time.
And thank you very much for yours. And you'll excuse me for my clumsiness. This is
No
the
problem.
first interview I'm giving.
No problem.
And I'm a little bit nervous.
No.
Oh boy, this is, you are an absolutely, I'm thrilled to the gills to have you as my first guest on this channel. I've put together this Rumble channel in order to summarize my work as engineer, looking at 9/11 and more recently the bridge collapse in Maryland. There's a lot going on in the world at any given time.
Yeah.
And when you first appeared on the scene, you were like a breath of fresh air because you brought together what I knew deep down in my gut was going on. I know this is happening. And to hear you talking about it with such certainty and such poise was really a thrill to me and to many people out there. And we're all of us asking, who is this mysterious Pascal Najadi, who modestly says, I'm not that mysterious, but it takes time to get to know somebody. And we'd like to get to know you just a little bit during this session.
Sure.
So back to that first question that I so eagerly charged into. Did you come up with the expression democide? Because I hadn't used that term used before, Pascal.
Let's talk. I don't talk about lawyers because the lawyers are part of the problems that humanity got into. The justice system is wrong, will be obliterated, or is already being removed as we speak. But state judiciaries. A genocide, we know, huh? We don't have to go into details, but we got fakes and real genocides. Genome, something that you have, right? A skin color, a religion that you follow, a flag that you have, a genocide, genocidal. We don't have to go into examples. People know what that means. And they, at the beginning of this COVID bioweapon attack on humanity, they said, oh, it's a genocide. I said, no, this is a democide. And I've used it first with a film team that came over from the Atlantic to Switzerland. Good guys. the famous movie cutting off the head of the snake in Geneva, which was viewed over 600 million times in a few weeks through the entire internet and all platforms. It's a 4-minute piece where Dr. Astrid Stückelberger also said her part to it. And we didn't make that film. That film was made by a professional team. Great guys. And I just spoke freely. They put a camera in front of me and said, look, talk. And I talked. And I specify this as a demo site. What these evil, bad and sick beings, they're not humans, but the military will explain to you why I'm saying that now, already to you now here. What these evil and sick, bad and sick beings have been doing, they try to exterminate the human species. Now, demo side, I just, I haven't even studied in my life, but demographics I go. Stillborn babies, murdered, to my age mother, dying, or many killed, murdered. Demographic. Therefore, for me, it's a demo site. It's irrespective of color, race, religion, flag. It was a global attack, if it was a global, on the entire population of human species who got injected against their will, criminally, by force. Coercion is force, psyops. And it was from the beginning known that this is a military-grade bioweapon. Therefore, the rules of war apply. Now, the US law of war is in force wherever you sit, engineer. I'm in the United States, for sure it's in force here too, but everywhere else, in Switzerland, it's in force right now, applicable right now. Because current wartime president and commander-in-chief, my commander-in-chief too now, since 27th of January 2024, has declared war on the world, worldwide, the United States, a global defense war, covert, but it's a war. And if you declare war as a nation, then your law of war is carried out there into the battlefield. And the battlefield is right now everywhere in the world. It's a battlefield. It's a war scene. People get confused. They say, where are the tanks? Where are the planes? Where are the bombs on CNN? Those things happen when you sleep, underground, a lot of underground fighting. And taking out corporates, CEOs, pedophiles, satanic cults, you name it. And special operations, etc., etc. So the US Law of War Manual exists and is downloadable on the Department of Defense website. It's the version 2015, the War Manual 2015, updated July 2023, where the current wartime president and his general counsel of the Department of Defense have included civilians, because before the US law of war was directed at war enemies. These are people in uniform or spies to be executed as an enemy, right? But here we are dealing with mostly civilians. Prime ministers, presidents, ministers, diplomats, doctors, professors, CEOs, bankers, lawyers, judges, you name it. Media.
This is sounding really all-encompassing to me, Pascal. Is that a fair statement?
Yeah. So, sorry. The Law of War Manual still has genocide in there, but it is also genocide. So if I call it a democide, it's probably the right definition. And I'm not a linguistic, and I haven't even studied in my life,
But it's an interesting term, and it's the first time we ever really saw that appear, and it's giving the impression that this is something much broader than a specific group in the human family. This is all of humanity, is what you're effectively saying.
No. Human species. You've got to be careful with humanity. We talk about treating dogs human-like, so we've got to be specific. We are not a race. We are a species. And this attack was against the human species. They wanted to eradicate our human species and keep a 500 million rump service slaves until their new modified genome, chromosome, DNA, they're modifying it, right, with these injections. they try to create a new humanoid slave robot.
Keeping a 500 million going, is that an allusion perhaps to what many people would think was written on, say, the Georgia Guidestones?
Okay, let's not go to, this was Masonic too. Let's not go there.
Okay.
Look, human species was to be reduced within several cascading pandemics. Pandemic is an invention of the WHO's criminal terminology. Doesn't exist pandemic. There is no viruses. Viruses don't exist. Not one virus has ever been isolated in a laboratory. Biomass, never. They were to eradicate us, lock us up for more than 10 years, actually, in long term. And then the 15-minute cities and all that stuff, electromobiles don't go far anymore, etc. But kill us in the next 4 to 5 years. Gone. Yeah.
In the essay, you talk about Pfizer and Moderna being fully aware of rogue military elements in engineering the bioweapon in Wuhan during the bioweapons embargo. What did you mean by the rogue military elements?
DARPA, but not all of them. You see, the US military is very big. It's big.
It is more than people can appreciate.
Yeah, and I'm aligned with the US Space Force. So consider me. But I'm not an official spokesman of the US military. Be careful. I'm speaking as a Swiss resistant, if you want to say so, former Swiss Air Force officer who has joined the US military to deliver Switzerland and evidence of their crimes against humanity as specified under Executive Order 13818. Serious crimes against humanity, corruption, and then Title 18, Section 2381, treason against the United States during wartime, because Switzerland has harbored, borne, orchestrated, engineered, tolerated, condoned, financed, supported institutions that have produced these psyops with Switzerland, global psyops, and the bioweapon was produced earlier. It was the gain-of-function research on the spike protein, which actually normally could be quite harmless. If you do gain-of-function, then you're reprogramming a biological element of a human body, a human species, and you weaponize it by gain-of-function. You modify it to become aggressive. But it was not the virus that created. The virus don't exist, right? No, they were doing the spikes, programming them in a way that they kill you. And that's what we have. We have 7.8 billion people now transfected, of which 5.7 billion have been force injected with a military-grade bioweapon masqueraded heinously as a COVID vaccine for a virus called COVID or corona that never existed. The gain-of-function research was financed by US taxpayers' money. Fauci funneled it with Dr. Baric and another dude in 2012 into Wuhan, a military-grade weapons lab in China, Wuhan, financed by Pasteur Paris. Oh, the cabal. And they've done all that during bioweapon freezing embargo on the United States and Canada. So they've done a double whammy. Not only have they created a bioweapon that's illegal, criminal, unauthorized, away from, but now we know which president was then president, right? You remember?
Yes. Yeah.
Dude called Obama, right?
Yeah.
A traitor, a Kenyan-born, parents Russian-speaking. In Kenya, in the village, they speak Russian. Funny.
Yes.
So a traitor who's infiltrated by the deep state, CIA, rogue elements, even wrong papers, fake papers. If you're not born in America, you cannot become president. It's fraud. It's treason. And then
President Trump was very much onto that, wasn't he?
Yeah, no, it's all known.
Origins.
It's all going to be delivered nicely, like a Christmas tree package to everybody. And Obama's gone. He's executed for treason and other abhorrent crimes like satanic rituals and other stuff. And COVID.
People will ask you, if Obama was executed, who are we seeing now?
Oh, it's a double. It's like Biden. I don't know where I'm going. And where's the exit? Here are the stairs. After 2 minutes, he has to go and sleep, right? Ice cream. Hey, his name is Arthur Roberts. Look at him.
Nick Alvear points it out in his film. Are you familiar with Nick Alvear's film Greatest Show on Earth 2023?
Sure. And these films have been produced. They're expensive movies. They're not just some homemade. They've been cheated. Operation Storm that we're going through now, or the war, I call it conveniently Storm, is the largest ever assembled, commanded, global defense war machine ever assembled in mankind's history, human species. The cabal, as you know, they own the mass media and also opposition media and opposition blogs. It's all the same thing. Deep state. But the Trump presidency since 2017, when he was in office, started to work in office. And the military decided, because they are psyops too, they are white hat psyops, the good guys, said, look, we have to grow this slowly. And the informations are coming now from the public, right? Through you and me. And they drop, not only Q drops, that's too obvious, but sometimes all of a sudden a formerly top secret document pops up in the internet and it's real. Like Susan Rice, who instructed the British to spy on President Trump's campaign. Susan Rice. Very bad.
It's my understanding she is also no longer with us.
Of course not. Treason. And don't forget, most of these guys have done these crimes against humanity and treason during wartime because, again, let's go slow. Section 1550, War Powers Resolution, Chapter 33, that is Title 50. It's now accessible, also now visible in the congressional website house.gov. United States property, right? And there it says, declaration of war has been declared by President, first mandate, Donald J. Trump, Commander-in-Chief. Global defense war, a worldwide war on all nations, engaging, and it's written there, partner forces, regular and irregular. Now, I am irregular because I don't command a military army. I'm former Swiss military, saw the crime. I had to go align. I wanted to, with great pleasure, but it wasn't the right duty call because I had to make sure that the US military knows, has evidence from me about the Swiss government that has borne this COVID psyops and has injected our own people, and not only Swiss people, foreigners, Americans who live in Switzerland too. And the judiciaries, which you know, have all failed because they're all manipulated. You know that. For me, it was clear. The judiciary of a country that is defunct, rendered defunct by sitting government, which is the case, becomes a threat to national security of Switzerland. If the judiciary is no longer able to uphold watertight the Swiss constitution, that is a security risk, isn't it? For the borders, for the investors, for the human beings, for animals, for anything and everything that goes around in our territory. Correct? You understand that?
Absolutely.
It becomes a security risk if a aircraft management system of a cockpit malfunctions in 35,000 feet at 800 kilometers an hour or Mach 0.8, and the thing is not reliable anymore. I have to do something about it. I have to switch it off, right? And I had to decide, very simple. It's binary. So I'm not a hero at all. I had to decide very quickly, and I was happy to decide that quickly. I go with the US military because they've declared war about this stuff. Executive Order 13818, crimes, serious crimes against humanity, corruption, and other elements like treason, etc. Long list of crimes. I observed them as a victim. I had all the proof to deliver. The injuries, the terminal injuries, the injection date, point, doctors who injected, what material, Pfizer in my case, then the criminal charges against the president that got rejected, all that process nicely put together, and the list of names of banks, and names of judges which are on the papers, and delivered that to the Secretary of Defense of the United States at war, which exclusively, in turn, always reports only to the current, and in this case, it's current wartime President, Commander-in-Chief Donald J. Trump of the United States. So,
point being, wartime president, and
sorry, I was digressing.
That's okay. I just wanted to go back and say a little comment about you're talking about the war, and it's really extraordinary to consider that this war, as that we're referring to here, has been not only a covert war, it has also been a war that has tried like hell to avoid this conflict from spreading into the civilian population. And every day when I ponder the war, I am most grateful to the men and women who planned all of this, so I do not have to go and pick up a weapon like my ancestors did during World War II.
Yeah.
I don't have to go and fight an enemy and risk my life and get shot in the guts and die a painful
you will
death.
not. No.
I do not need to do that. None of us do. And the thing is, what do we really have to do? We have to pay a little bit more for our groceries. That's maybe a crude way of putting it, but I would much rather take that alternative than to have to physically go and fight in a war and imperil my life. And where does it get me?
Yeah, we were drifting away. Clinton's, Obama's, Biden's, deep state, Bill Gates, WHO, Switzerland, all these people planned already to kill us in 2016. 17. That's when they planned. Hillary Clinton tried to, she stole the election, but she failed. And the military stepped in, not adding votes to President Trump. No, they just cut off their illegal fake votes coming in to the box.
They stopped the steal, in other words, didn't they?
They sabotaged the stealing. They did not add votes to make President Trump the president. They interrupted the flow of illegal votes, fake votes, ballots, to increase Hillary's count. That's why she failed in the last moment. And you know what? Let's say it the way it is. Julian Assange was instrumental. He's part of special operations, of course. We can say it now. Julian Assange. So Clinton, Obama, Biden, Clapper, all these bad people, bad and sick people, they planned to to steal the presidency and then kill literally everybody. COVID was planned before. And they failed, as you know, thanks to WikiLeaks, thanks to the hackers and the smart men and women under the command of Julian Assange. And Julian was able to deliver a counter coup in the internet with the US military intelligence and taking out the Clintons and the Clinton Foundation and all connected elements and exposed them. Bang! And they were caught red-handed, hands down. And that's about it. Huh?
At around the time the military intervened and stopped that election steal, Madam Clinton was apparently taken off, and it appears that she watched the first 2 years of the Trump presidency from a small cell, and much to her chagrin, watched very uncomfortably as President Trump took a sledgehammer to the deep state work over those 2 years. Do you have any comment on that?
No, I don't, because I was not involved. You see, I congratulated President Trump through friends I have who live in the Trump Tower. They're known to him, with him, they're neighbors with him since 20 years. And I sent an email to her and the wife of the husband, and I said, please give this to the president. And I don't know President Trump. I don't need to know him. He has better things to do than to talk to me, really. Hopefully I meet him one day. It would be great honor. But really, I congratulated him then already and said, you deserve every vote that you got. And I wrote, I paraphrase now, that you put Mrs. Clinton through the justice system, that what she deserves, bang. And I said, you're a uniter, not only for the United States, a uniter, a rassembleur, but you're also a uniter, an example, a fine example for all the world to watch. And that's what I wrote in email. I still have it, of course. And so you asked me about questions of a coup, which was stopped through a counter coup with the help of Julian Assange and WikiLeaks, who became part of special operations to foil the criminal attempt by the Clintons and Obama and all these people to destroy the United States much quicker. If they would have succeeded, we wouldn't be speaking now, I guarantee you. All of us would not be here.
Did we come close, Pascal? Or
yeah, of course we came close.
Yeah, we did, didn't we?
Yeah,
we really
did. Again,
yeah.
Assange and WikiLeaks were heroes because they enabled the counter coup with their knowledge and their data processing, whatever, their sources. And that's the truth. And you will see very soon Assange being declared free all of a sudden. He's not in a prison, of course. Of course not. Yeah, it's all staged. And WikiLeaks was isolated in the embassy, yes. So the deep state thought, the Assange now is like, now we have him. And the trap with Biden was this fake Biden, because Joe Biden was part of this coup already then. And then Biden tried to steal the election, remember? Failed. They caught him too. Caught all of them. Obama again, the whole crew, Clapper. And President Trump said it. They committed treason now. He said at that time in the press conference in the White House, he said, let's see what happens to them now. Bye-bye. And he left the room. It's clear what happened. All right. So
back to your essay about the U.S. military Operation Storm.
Yeah.
At the outbreak of the coronavirus, how was President Trump deceived into signing the emergency documents that supported the web of lies that you talked about?
What do you mean?
Well, President Trump was deceived into signing emergency documents.
No,
That's what you stated in your essay.
Let's make it very clear.
Yeah.
The U.S. military intelligence and the Space Force. By the way, Space Force is now monitoring our call real time. This is good. We're at wartime. They're doing this now.
This is good, yes.
The deep state used to use government assets to spy on the people, to manipulate the population. This time it's around, we use the knowledge and information flow to protect the people. The technology is used now against the deep state. They're finished. Already, as I can declare it to you now, there's some remnants running around now in panic. They'll be taken very soon. But the machine is huge. We're not talking just COVID. We're talking thousands of years. Khazarian mafia. Khazaria is today's Ukraine. The other species, they're not humans. They have betrayed humanity, us, human species, with wrong religion. We don't need religion. God created the universe, created you, me. Do you think God, who creates the universe, I mean, think of it. And he's even bigger than that because he's from the outside. I always told that to Sherry on the last call we had. I cannot be swimming in a pool, on a lawn, in a house, I mean, in a, park, and then say, hey, honey, I'm creating this pool now because I'm already in it, right? That's a lie. Somebody else has put the pool there. Otherwise, I wouldn't be swimming in it, correct? But the Bible says, I came, I created. Wait, you came in. You already were in the universe, right? So, believe me, Jesus Christ and all that's a very difficult topic now, of course, for many, many. But do you think God made an ambassador, said you must go through Jesus or this guy or this book to talk to me? God is in everybody, and have self-confidence in you and talk to him directly because he listens to you. He listens to you. He hears you. Believe you me, he does. And as President Trump always says, in America, we don't worship government. We worship God. And I add to that elegantly to the Swiss corruption and Swiss cabal and Swiss governments that have done this to us. I say, we all worship God, but now we show you where he resides, where God resides. That's it.
I've heard you speak about God and belief in God in the past, and I just wanted to press you on this a little bit. I sense in your take on this, are you de-emphasizing religion and emphasizing spirituality more in favor of religion?
What? Wait.
Is it a fair statement?
The religion, what? See, if you're in touch with God and God lives in you, and that's the case, it will be revealed.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Do we need religion?
To me, the answer is obvious, but for people
no,
out
I'm
there...
asking you, did your mother give you a book, that an instruction manual how to talk to your mother? No.
No.
You made a mistake? Bang! Right?
That's pretty much it. Yeah.
And when you did something great, she took you in the arm and said, you know what? Great job. Wow. Great school. Whatever. Yeah. Gave you love. So I'm not getting into religious stuff. All I'm saying is the concepts of science are wrong by the cabal. Cabal sounds modern, but I'm talking about science thousands of years. History. All wrong. We have spacecraft today under the US Air Force and Space Force. They fly. And we can reach A and B on this world, the farthest points, within 1 hour. In the patent, which is now visible in Google patents, anti-gravitational spacecraft, hit enter, you get the US Navy patent with all the mathematical formulas. It's a triangle. That's why the Space Force logo, now you get it. Oops, where is it? Here, right?
I have it as well.
Huh?
I have it too.
Yeah, the logo.
Yes.
That's what the so-called TR-3Bs look like at the moment. They can shape-shift a bit like an aircraft at night, not to make people nervous right now as we speak, but they're flying into Air Force bases in England right now at night. And you can imagine the distance from California or anywhere in Omaha or whatever is normally an 7 to 10 hour flight, normal jet and wings, old-fashioned stuff. Here we do 40 minutes, 30 minutes, depending. And no wings, no noise, no smoke, nothing. Yeah.
I'm so curious to know, where did you learn about this?
Well, I make it easier for you.
Sure.
I'm not bearer of any military secrets, and I'm not talking about any elements of any military secret.
Okay.
This is all now, all of a sudden, accessible. That should tell you something else between the lines.
Mm-hmm.
It's preparing the people, right? If the patent of this thing is a spacecraft, highly sophisticated, right? We always had the technology, but that's a different explanation round by the US military, or the military, to brief you why you will be in a lockdown soon. We always had those things. We came with such things. We don't come from the jungle like the dolphin crawling onto the beach, and then the dolphin grows legs, and then the legs become, and then upright, and then like monkeys, and monkeys become Neanderthals, caves, and the firestone. No. We came here with ships, pretty sophisticated slang, cool shit, right? And yeah. And we are the aliens in a way. God created us. and we are pretty much more intelligent than society thinks we are. We know a lot more. We have the potential is enormous, but we were dumbed down by the deep state, by the Khazarian mafia for thousands of years. And that's gone now. Operation Storm is the war that ends all wars, and current wartime President Trump happens to be at the helm. But this was started by good, late JFK, who recognized the need to get the deep state out of the way because he realized they were lying to him. And I still hope he's alive. Could have been, that's another option now. Maybe they faked the assassination to get President Kennedy out to do his work, continue his work. So Q exists. And as I always say, Q is JFK family, for sure JFK Jr., President Trump, US military, intelligence, psyops. That's Q. Maybe also Assange to a bit. Q. Okay.
Pascal, this is the second time ever I heard anybody suggest that the JFK, we're talking JFK, the father.
Father, yes.
In 1963.
The president.
Yes, the JFK, the president. This is the second time I've ever heard somebody suggest that that might have been faked. It was actually Jay Widener who discussed it. But if you look at that footage a little bit closely, he appears to be applying something to his face, and Jackie is leaning in and saying, yeah, that looks right, and the detonation goes off.
All I'm saying is, if I'm the president of a country like the United States, and I discovered that we have, as a young president, he was young, right? Navy guy, he's an officer, smart. And he found out that we have spaceships hidden from the government, which belong to the US government, right? And he said, we want to go to the moon, and he finds out that they're lying to him. Then he's not scared. He's concerned about the Constitution, right? He says, if they have the power to do all that lying and hiding the military-industrial complex from the president, who they should report to, right? Then the intelligent thing would have been, and probably they did that, to exfiltrate him and say, you know what, you can do much more as our hidden president, and we'll form a task force that goes through generations, the military intelligence, the loyal people to the Constitution. Remember, the United States started with the military. George Washington, General Washington. The military was first. Then came the Constitution, we the people, the representatives, meaning the people are the representatives, right? Not the Congress or Senate. The employees are selected by the representatives, the people. So yeah, JFK could have been. That's now really speculation. That's not disclosure. That's speculation. And it could be a big surprise. He would be he would be not as young as he was, but he could be alive still. And we know medicine, the one we learned, is wrong. So we have techniques in our possession worldwide. Yeah.
To prolong life.
But we never die. That's the whole point. Time is fake news too, I believe. That will be disclosed. That's also speculation, but I think time, the notion of time, is a pure lie. Whoever told you that time exists and goes forward, where's the mathematical scientific proof? We don't. So, yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, I've now taken my list of questions and set it to the side because this conversation we're having is absolutely fascinating. Now, Pascal, I just want to say to you that when we talk about the military operation, this is extraordinary.
Yeah.
We talk about disclosure, this is extraordinary. We talk about the geopolitical goings on around the planet. This is extraordinary stuff.
Yeah.
But to me, there's something towering above all of this, and that is what's really extraordinary is our true nature as human beings and the true nature of the universe that we are, some of us, only now opening our eyes to.
When we were born, babies, through the mother, remember the mother, the woman is the boss here, really. The Catholic Church and all these religions have turned it upside down. It's not true. Look at the nature. Take a lioness and the dude. Who does all the work? And who defends the family and hunts for the family? Lioness.
The lioness.
The other guy hunts for pleasure and show, right? And he's a big guy and people are afraid of him. Okay. But the lioness is doing the real defense of the family. And you know that somebody attacking a kid of any a kid of any family, the mothers, right? Yeah, for good reason. And we got to recognize that. And the cabal now went for the kill. They thought, that's why the military intelligence and President Trump put up the fake Biden administration to trap the last remaining deep state people, other leaders. They thought, we got this Biden, now we go there, NATO, all these people, Zelensky, von der Leyen, Trudeau at the beginning, right? Wow, deals.
You talk about this lioness, Pascal. It's such a beautiful analogy. And I think the lioness is also a caregiver. And that makes me wonder, it makes me think about you particularly. You've been vaccine injured. How are you doing right now? What's the status with your health?
No.
Are you okay?
No. We're all terminally ill. We are poisoned with a military-grade bioweapon that was designed to kill. That's fact. We lost a lot of people already. I think the official figures are, the real figures are much higher than the 20 million, much higher, injured and killed, much higher. But and I cannot disclose it because it's not a disclosure and it's not a secret. It's just, that's now my speculation, but I heard a few good sources. The military will immediately roll out an antidote, which has been now developed because they created a bioweapon that is intelligent. But there is an antidote to it. And the US military and Trump have defused most of the bottles, by the way. Otherwise,
yes,
right now, we would have lost 4 billion people by now.
We would have had much more death if they hadn't.
4 billion gone by now. 4.
Yeah, it's obvious. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
So all these people, and I just say this loud and clear, that have been in any way linked to this COVID psyops and democide born out of Switzerland, global. Doctors too. You injected a human being, you get a bullet. We don't need the doctors anymore. Science will change anyway. But the cleanup will be so shocking for everybody to witness because people don't believe me. They say, it's not a bioweapon, you're a Trumpist. And no. Science says it's a bioweapon and it is now confirmed. The banks who have been involved in those payments, they're taken down, all of them. It's of unfathomable, I call it always, they have done a beyond biblical attack on the human species, and I say it loud and clear. And now our response is a multiple beyond biblical that will be resonating the next thousands of years. And not even a sick and bad a human being will ever dare to think to repeat the same, because those who done this, that's my claim, they're not human species. They look like you, they look like me, they talk, they're not. They are satanic evil beings and they had to be exterminated. And now the last rats will be torched, caught and shot. Yeah, simple as that. And I always say this during wartime, which we are, Title 50, Section 1550, current and ongoing right now in the United States, in Switzerland, back home, in France, in Canada, wherever you are, you bad and sick people, we are at war. All your telegrams, even your signal, your so-called encrypted channels are real-time analyzed. We know where you are, pedophiles included. And government system, Swiss ministers hoping to communicate with some panic call right now with some guy of WHO, or if he still exists, on an encrypted Swiss military system. Guess what? We crack it in 5 minutes or 3 or 2. they're finished. And if anybody, that should be known on through your channel, if anybody tries to undermine our current war efforts going on right now, trying to undermine it, trying to hamper it, disturb it, will be met by immediate severe deterrence of the US military or any allied special operations or military forces around the world. And we know where you are, and we know 1 minute before you even think of getting up doing it, the bad stuff, we will be there before you exit your apartment, house, or car. Boom. It's finished for them. And I like one aspect about it. Torture is a Geneva Convention no-go. You do not torture other people, even in war. But on this one, I think we get a carte blanche. The torture now is that they listen to us, engineer and me, and they realize that they're finished. And they didn't have the bullet yet. They will get it very soon. Yeah.
This is unprecedented. Can I ask you a little bit more about the World Military Alliance?
Look, I don't know. I don't admit the secrets. I just gave you what Derek Johnson has shared. The documents.info is Derek Johnson, buddy of mine, great guy, American military veteran, a bit younger than I am, straight shooter, no bullshitter, down to the law and orders that are in place and in force. He shared radar pictures that anybody can monitor if you take the time. Is Flight Radar 24 and all these gadgets that you have on the internet. You can track military flights. And the coalition, the alliance, shows you even where they are sometimes, right? You see German Air Force flying in the United States, New Zealand, aircraft, Brazil, all kinds of aircraft in US airspace that should not be there. But the fact that they allow the transponder to transmit to this email platform, internet platform, the real flight operations that are at war, they switch the transponders, of course, off. You will not see the E4B, which is the flying command post of our current wartime President Commander-in-Chief Trump, and or the Secretary of Defense. The E4B is a 747 highly modified. She can fly 1 week up in the sky, 1 week, refueled, of course, non-stop. They will, if she is then doing something cool, then they switch off, of course, the transponder and fly to the mission, what they have to fly.
There is actually a channel on YouTube. I'm not sure if you're familiar with it. It's called Monkeyworks US, and they are showing that at any given time the aircraft that are up in the air. So I've been able to see some of that.
You can do it yourself, flightradar24.com.
Yes, yeah.
You can tag them and you can save them as your favorites. And then whenever this wonderful beast goes up into the air, you get an email. Boom, it's in the air. So you can track the Gitmo flights, the execution flights every day now. There's GTMO 844 and then there's GTMO 8001 and all these things. Yeah.
Or are those the designations of the aircraft that go to and from Guantanamo Bay? Yeah,
well, they go from mostly from Fort Lauderdale, KFLLL, to Gitmo and back.
Now, Pascal, you're a pilot. What type of aircraft are you familiar with in your pilot?
I can fly almost everything. I have no official license, but I had instructors teaching me. I also flew a Gulfstream, a G3. I don't know, look, I'm not quite normal in the sense that I learned at Swissair flying 747 cargo, combi cargo. I learned the 757, which is Trump's Air Force plane now, by the way, as an example. Great aircraft, very powerful, can climb like crazy. 737s and also Piper or a Cessna 172. I even once got control over a Dauphin 2. That's the US Coast Guard, mainly helicopter, twin turbine, pretty big machine, French originally, built-in license in the States.
What did you learn in Pascal? Did you learn on the Cessna? Where did you begin flying?
No, it's autodidactic. It's can't explain it. I think in pictures. That's why it's complicated to explain. If I need to do something, I can do it pretty fast. And I think in pictures. I compute in pictures because a picture has more information, data, than a text. The text has these stupid letters and it's like slow motion for me. It's too slow. But I think in pictures, everything in pictures. Pictures.
As an engineer, I also think in pictures, so I can relate to you.
Yes, but you have mathematical formulas that you had to learn and all these things. I can't deal with that.
Oh, I hated the math, Pascal.
Yeah, but
it was really hard.
Still, you've done it. You're an engineer, right? So
I somehow did it, and
you did it. You've done it, bravo.
It's long in the rearview mirror. I can program a spreadsheet like nobody's
I can't
business.
even do that. A spreadsheet, but this management, these two super managers of cabal management, spreadsheet, and we're gonna fire 1,000 employees here. No. I can't even do a PowerPoint, but I can devise a strategy out of a complex situation for a government to move. Nothing illegal. Good stuff. But that was not so much wanted when I was in banking. And then I realized that it was a crime scene. I had to leave the business.
I want to switch topics quickly here over to, I've heard you talk about Bitcoin in the past, but I want to ask you, central bank digital currency. This is clearly a bad thing. Do we need to fear digital currencies?
No, stop.
I know it won't happen.
No, won't happen.
Digital currencies generally, do people need to be worried?
No. Let me say this. The United States and a certain alliance around the world of generals, military intelligence, has planned this operation, this war, since that's now ongoing, officially declared since 20th December 2019. Millions of people are in active war duty, 800 total admirals and generals around the world, 200 war duty, US generals and admirals. The first thing they were thinking about this is the well-being of the human species, because this war is against the deep state, against the Khazarian mafia, against all the rogues. It's so big. It's just unbelievably big. And the central point is the protection, defense, survival, progress, prosperity of the human species, us. And that includes, of course, financial aspects. So taxes were illegal. All our parents and grandparents paid taxes, stolen by the rogue governments, fascists, right? It will all be reversed. All. And money is not important. It's not. The world is rich, much richer than we thought. We have no climate crisis, no energy crisis, no food crisis. The prices went up like crazy, especially in Canada, to shock the people. When the operation is done, everything will collapse because the prices are really, really going to be much, much lower. And Tesla patents will come into force immediately. So your phone will not plug anymore. In this year, you will not plug your phone anymore. It will just always recharged, always.
Should we stop asking how long it's going to take?
No. But back to the money. Bitcoin is good. Why? It's not owned by a company or humans. All the other tokens.
Oh, no, I didn't mean you. I didn't mean our agenda here. I meant
this
whole changeover to the new world.
No.
I've got people asking me every day, how much longer do we have to take this,
I have published the no-fly zone of Mar-a-Lago, which is the White House. And the no-fly zone ends on the last second of the last minute of the last day of May 24. The missile defense system is taken off. On the 1st of June, you can fly with a Cessna, pretty low level, across the wonderful Mar-a-Lago estate.
Wow.
So, if the missile defense system is no longer there on the 1st of June, it's being moved. The protection is the object to protect, the human being, the family to be protected is the president's family, right? Office is moved long before, right?
Of course.
And now the solar eclipse in a few days, in 3 days, But the sun is in the sign of Pisces, parallel to the moon. Parallel. So how is that gonna, yeah. I've said enough. The fact that we can talk openly about executive orders that are visible now, no-fly zones that are visible now, of the Mar-a-Lago, of the White House, that are stopping now certain statements of President Trump when he said, I don't know if Biden's alive or not. No, he said, I don't know if he knows himself he's alive or not. Look at the Tesla stock collapsing. People start to realize that Biden is not Biden. They start to realize that there's no Obama on stage rallying, right? Nobody. Election interference by these vicious charges like Leticia, this prosecutor in New York. Election interference, hello? That's Executive Order 13848, which means, yeah, read the stuff.
Okay, thank you very much. It's a great honor to be with you at 40 Wall Street. And we appreciate you have a lot of press outside, and I think we're going to start before a lot of them come in, which frankly always makes me happy. So, a lot of things happened today. This is all about election interference. This is all Biden-run things, meaning Biden and his thugs, because I don't know if he knows he's alive.
What can I tell you? I feel, the feeling is wrong. I collate. Very soon, Operation Storm will surface. Yeah.
Will surface. It will make itself known to the general population, in other words.
Lockdown, not for a virus, for your own protection.
Ah, I see. Okay.
There's no bombs flying. Remember those corrupt politicians? They have no jets. No need to bring the tanks onto the streets. But then you pick them up. Remove the government.
Pascal, is disclosure for a select few people, or is it for everybody?
Everybody. I don't charge any money. My channel is free.
I don't mean you so much. I mean, generally speaking, will we be seeing an official disclosure? Or
of course.
Will we?
No.
Okay.
If you're locked into a 10-day blackout, there'll be one TV channel, no internet, nothing. People will be forced to look at that channel, and that channel will inform humanity why this had to happen. And they will all cheer it. They will all say, wow.
This story is so massive. I wonder if 10 days will be enough to tell the whole thing.
Well, look, again, that's military secret. I don't know when exactly. I don't know how long. But they're not there to torture the people like in COVID. They're trying to do everything swift. Most of the war is done, by the way. It's done. Just not visible. There's some remnants running around. Like Switzerland, I think they keep for the last moment to really show to the people, now we got these motherfuckers. Bam, gone. Israel too, I think. Israeli embassies closed yesterday. Israeli embassies in the Middle East closed down. Boom, 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 boom. The Vatican is shut. The Pope didn't give an address on Easter. Never happened before in the history of Vatican that the Easter address, the Pope, or there was no address to the Catholics. There was none. Cancelled. Because the Vatican is closed, Francis is shut. The dude that you see on television, or Google him, the so-called Pope, has a face like that. It's not Francis anymore, logic. So realize, you wake up slowly. And then the UN, the symbolic, the Palais des Nations, the United Nations headquarters in Geneva, before Christmas, lights out, closed. Where's Greta Thunberg? Where's the climate crisis gone? Where is the mask mandate in the hospital in Canada? Where is Iris gone, the new COVID-2? Where are those viruses? It's all, the whole horror film comes to an end now.
How dare you!
There's so many pussies around.
And I always repeat myself, with two endings. One beautiful one for the human species, which is probably the way God intended us to live, free and happy. That's our ending, the happy ending, the happiest of all as President Trump said, my commander-in-chief says, the best is yet to come, and he's not. It's an understatement if he says that, said that. And the other one is the most abhorrent, brutal ending of what is like a splatter movie for the bad and sick people. They get a bullet.
Wouldn't want to be them for any money, let me tell you.
No, but they will be eliminated, and everything else around them that was with them too. And Freemasons, bye-bye. Secret societies, as President Kennedy said, we don't need them, we don't tolerate them, we don't want them. We do not need secret societies. I don't want them around me. I don't want them.
When you mentioned Vatican back there, I smiled to myself over here because I was picturing a smiling Donald Trump standing next to a very somber Pope Francis.
You saw that 2017, right?
Yeah, you know the photo I'm talking about,
Yeah,
don't you? Yeah. Oh, he doesn't look happy at all, as he shouldn't, because he's done.
No, it's already, yeah.
Can I ask you about Vatican gold? Would you be
Taken
willing
out
to...
by the US Air Force, 650 flights, I heard.
Yes, Charlie, right?
Sorry?
Charlie helped with that.
I cannot confirm. No, the US Air Force has their own planes. I'm not informed about any, The US Air Force, they use C-17s. These are big transport aircraft with 4 engines.
Huge planes.
And 650 of those had to be flying forth and back.
Probably a combination of gold and treasure.
I don't know.
Dare venture?
Look, I don't care. Doesn't matter. Vatican is, money doesn't interest, not important. Important is human species, survival, progress. All the rest, money, luxury, is right now, believe me, secondary. Nobody will have any problems with money. I can guarantee you. No. First, you have to be free. And that needs a consciousness. And then respect the military at all times, because these poor people, they're proud people. But they're working hard and risking their lives for us, for our liberty. And the parents cannot know where they are. So the children have to lie to mom and dad. Oh, I was in Croatia, I was in Belgium, or I was in Idaho, but they were somewhere else, right? But the parents can be very proud of them. That's for sure.
Cutting the head off the snake in Geneva, where can that film be located, Pascal?
Rumble.
It's on Rumble, is it? Okay.
Look, my Rumble channel is Neutral Swiss. Neutral, like neutrality.
Yes.
Swiss, like Swiss Air, this stupid airline. Number 2, I mean. Yeah. Neutral Swiss, one word. You find everything there, over 100 interviews with professors and stuff. Now, I think you're the last one in the whole collection, engineer.
The latest one.
Latest one and the last one, because we are moving to another location in the United States. And there's this so-called solar eclipse, where people should stack up food according to the US military. Follow the instructions of the military and police. Please do not go to the highway. I think it's, and don't forget some champagne. When the military says get some food stuff, get beer and champagne and wine. I'm not alcoholic anymore. I mean, consuming anymore, but a lot of people have a fun time having a drink. Fine for them. Let them celebrate. Why not? I get steaks. Don't eat this artificial meat. It's toxin as well. It's gene manipulated stuff. Beef, chicken, prices will come down very soon. And the farmers love you for it because they work every day hard to get you fresh meat and eggs and fresh butter and stuff. So, yeah.
Well, the farmers will be really relieved, won't they? Because they've been really been given the gears lately.
Yeah, look, again, everything, God is in charge, really is. And I always, with Isabel, we say gratitude several times a day. That's all we do. Because we know he's in charge. And the US military is in charge, Canadian military, the military is in charge. And of course, my commander-in-chief and current wartime President Trump is in charge. And a lot will be revealed. Only good stuff. horrible stuff about the bad and sick people, so people understand why. President Trump said it. The good thing about the pause is, remember, he said, everybody will see how bad they have done, so everybody will understand what has to be done. Okay? Now it makes sense, right?
A lot has been illuminated for me during this time, yes.
I hope. I
Yeah.
have to cut it short, engineer. Don't want to
No, we do. We agreed to a certain time.
No, I didn't want to.
duration.
I just say because I have fatigues and I need to get rest. I do that 4 or 5 times a day now. And you were important for me because you've written wonderfully to me, and thank you for your reaching out. Remember, the big news now came from the people, we the people. The mainstream media are now afraid to write about it because they realize they are cornered and they'll be switched off very soon and executed for their crimes against humanity. All of them. Charges to all pedo criminals, you're finished. And Swiss governments, members, all of you. Bang, bang. Kill Bill is a nice song. Bang, bang. Yeah. I don't take the Retribution, no, it's the US military justice system, all hunky-dory, above board and clean. But justice system, military law, we don't go to court and lawyers, negotiations about internet in the cell, boom. The Chinese call it fast trial, and Trump said, oh, so fast, boom, boom, oh. That's what they get.
The timing of this conversation is extremely good before this significant weekend coming up.
Look.
So I'm most grateful to you, sir.
I'm grateful to you. Look, behind me, I still carry this in my laptop, the screensaver of Geneva. That's when we started disclosing things with the Snake movie in October 23. We started disclosures. Disclosure is nothing else. Definition, formally secret information became public. That's what we're doing. We're informing only about .gov, United States property websites. No blogs. We don't give you opinion. I don't talk about you, engineer. Audience, we don't give you opinion. We don't need your approval. We don't need your opinion. We don't want your need your acknowledgement. We don't need your likes. We don't want your likes. But we give you disclosure. And you have to learn how to read disclosures, the .gov references now. Government websites now visible, and do your own checks and verification. If you don't, you're stupid, because that's the past system, right? Oh, the government says it's no. Check yourself, read, and then discover the truth yourself. We cannot give you more than that. If a horse doesn't want to drink and I give it water, then let it die. You cannot run a race with a dead horse. You can't flog it. If people choose to remain stupid, ignorant in the materialistic bubbles and wait for the government to spoon feed them, and the newspapers and communist networks like CNN spoon feed them with lies, let them continue with that. They have no room in our new world. I'm brutal about that. We don't want this people.
I am too, Pascal, and it's all comes down to responsibility. We have to take responsibility for informing ourselves, and many people still have not come to that realization. But this interview is like a good book, I would say. A good book tells you, confirms for you what you already knew. And I'm very happy to say that over the last few years, my own investigation and that of my friends, people who I talk to day in, day out, we've been digging, we've been searching for the answers, and talking to you today confirms what I've thought for a very, very long time now. And you are like a breath of fresh air, sir, coming on. I'm very sorry that you had these
because the Queen,
experiences.
We had to execute the Queen as well. The Queen has been executed for crimes against humanity and pedo crimes. I don't like to be called sir, unless you're in the military. That's different. But I'm fine. I'm Pascal for you, engineer. It's fine. And one more thing. These bad and sick people, they will be shown where God resides. And it had to happen, unfortunately, like that. to liberate humanity, the human species, remember? And if I say a closing word is, believe in yourself, everybody here, believe in yourself first. God lives in you, is in you. Your DNA is God. And you don't need an ambassador, a priest to tell you to go to church to talk to God. You can do that, that's voluntarily, but you will find out soon. Like the mother didn't give you an instruction manual telling you how to talk to your mom. Yeah.
Well, I came to this life just for this. Yeah. This is why I was born. To be
Everything
here
happens in the now. Time is also fake news, but that will be coming known through official channels. Behind me is the crime scene, Geneva, Switzerland. Swiss territory will be cleansed, finally, intensively, smoked out, and we kill all the rats. US military justice will torch them all, kill them, exterminate. Okay?
How are we looking in other countries similar to Switzerland?
All the same time.
Mm-hmm. Excellent.
But most evil is Israel, Switzerland, UK, the Crown and Vatican, and they had to be taken out. But some grand finale, the end game, the showtime, in a few days, I think, or very soon, in Swiss territory, and everybody will be shown why it had to be done and how. Okay.
Yeah, thank you so very much, Pascal.
Don't thank me,
awesome
thank God.
Speaking to you.
It's all him. He has got you in touch with me, and that's... Remember, he's in charge.
He sure is.
We don't worship government. It's not about President Trump anymore. It's not about President Trump. Great guy. Fantastic, brilliant president. Brilliant. But it's not about him. This is about the US Constitution, from his point of view as a president. And from our point of view, it's about human species, the survival, protection, defense and protection, and prosperity. That's what's happening now, liberation.
It is said that Lincoln preserved the Union. I think Trump exceeded that greatly. He helped preserve
it was started before him. It's JFK and the US military intelligence. And they asked him, will you do it? He said, yes, I am the patriot for this job. Because he could be on a yacht, right? He's worked hard his life. 77, he has done over 100 stages in the last few months. 77. I don't know where he gets the energy from.
That's major endurance.
Has a great family too. Fantastic first lady, isn't she brilliant?
She's the best one ever.
Yeah, she's smart, and I think she has... There's a big story about her coming too. Very positive one. A big story. Not from me. From the first lady and her husband herself, I think.
God bless you. And
God bless you.
$100, $50, $40, $30, $20, $10.
Six lights, boards are up, 110 knots, 5,000 feet remaining.
I'll try to get this high speed right here.
Presidential 69, turn right at Tango, contact ground point 1.
Right at Tango, ground point 1, Presidential 69.
Good morning from Paris, France. As you know, Louis XVI has signed an alliance with the United States in 1778. You also know that Admiral Lafayette was an ally of the first President of the United States, General George Washington, who liberated the land with the military. Remember, first came the military in the United States, and then came we the people, the representatives. Tomorrow is an important day. Tomorrow, our current wartime president and my commander-in-chief of the United States, Donald J. Trump, will make an address to the nation, to you in the United States and also the world. as our Commander-in-Chief and wartime President. During wartime, that is Title 50, Section 1550, War Powers Resolution, Chapter 33, visible in the House.gov website. The war is still clandestine, ongoing, global and deadly. But I can tell you this, I was shown a letter just now and I can transmit this. This is a letter of the Office of Military Settlements that was sent to our current wartime president on March 2017. And it was a confirmation, a payout to the United States, to the Republic, of 21 trillion US dollars. The United States has no national debt, and our current wartime president and Commander-in-Chief Donald J. Trump has taken down the illegal acts that have been put in place by the fascist monarchs, the Nazis in London, the Windsors, the Battenbergs, the Nazis from Germany. They've been exterminated, all of them are executed, make no mistake, they're gone. In England, there is no more monarchy. They were in bed with the Zionists in Israel, and they also helped create the illegal state of Israel. But that's a different topic. It's quite hot right now down there, isn't it? Go back to what I just said. Abraham Lincoln. Often our president is compared to President Abraham Lincoln, who got, unfortunately, assassinated, brutally shot in a theater by a deep stater on the 15th of April 1865. Well, tomorrow is the address. It is historic of our current wartime president and my Commander-in-Chief Donald J. Trump. And please listen carefully. I also dare say that the Swiss government Nazis, the Swiss politicians, the fascists, your days are counted. All the judges, all the Freemasons in Switzerland, you're done. We know where you live. The US military justice system is active. The US law of war manual will take you out, and you will see another dimension very, very soon for the satanic cults that you have cultivated over hundreds of years in Switzerland. Switzerland is under the control of the US military. With that, I wish you a wonderful, God-blessed Sunday. In the Space Force we say, Semper Supra, always above, because that's what we are now. We are above the deep state. The deep state is exterminated and taken off Earth. It's our Earth, and it's a paradise as God has intended us to live it. And you will discover soon why, as President Trump said, you'll find out. Operation Storm is real. And with that, God bless you all, and see you soon.